Episode 2, A Deal in the Dark. The first 2 weeks passed in a blur of timetables, timidity, and tight budgeting. Deolu tried to settle into his new Canadian reality, but every day added another layer of discomfort. He had imagined finding a decent part-time job easily. After all, he held a degree in business administration with a focus on human resources. But every HR-related application came back with the same code response: must have Canadian experience. As if experience was something you could pick up at duty-free on arrival. For weeks, he hopped from one Indeed.ca listing to another. Nothing. Interviews led nowhere. His account balance dipped lower than he ever imagined, in foreign currency, no less. Finally, he landed a data entry job at a struggling startup run by two Iranian brothers. The pay was low, but he took it with both hands. For the first time, a small sense of dignity returned. He woke up early, took the bus, and typed his heart out. But 2 months later, the business folded. Just like that. No severance, no notice. Just an apologetic email and a locked office door. "It's not personal, bro," one of the brothers sighed. "It's just Canada." What followed was a slow descent into whatever work he could find. Eventually, a friend connected him to a bartender job at a small downtown bar. The hours were short, student visa rules capped him at 20 hours per week. The pay barely covered rent, but at least it was something. Reality had fully humbled him. The code wasn't outside anymore. It was inside him now, in the way people brushed past him on the street, in the way he avoided conversations, in the way he shrank in a country he once thought would make him big. It wasn't all bleak. At the bar, he met 4 other African guys: Kwame from Ghana, Toby from Nigeria, Phyllis and Ikira from Kenya. They weren't flashy, but they were honest, kind, and full of stories. After shifts, they'd sit outside on crates and talk. Each had arrived in Canada chasing something: hope, a future, a clean break. Each had learned the same hard truth: Canada does not bend for dreamers. "The only reason I'm still here is asylum," Toby said one night. "Without it, I'd have been deported last year." "You applied for asylum?" Deolu asked. "All of us did," Ikira replied. "It's the surest way to stay after school." "But how?" "Different stories, my brother," Phyllis grinned. "What matters is that the story makes sense." That night, Deolu didn't sleep. He tossed and turned, mind spinning asylum. It felt like a way out, the plan. He rehearsed his story. The next morning, he walked into the asylum office and declared himself unsafe to return home. He said he was gay and that if he ever returned to Nigeria, his family would disown him. He would be attacked, ostracized, unsafe. It felt strange to say aloud. But desperation rewrites logic. He finished his statement, returned home. Waited. Hoped. Then came the reply. "Dear Mr. Deolu Adinanjo, the Refugee Protection Division, RPD, of the Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada has completed its review of your refugee protection claim. After assessing your testimony and all documentary evidence, the RPD has determined that your claim lacks credibility and does not meet the criteria for protection under Sections 96 or 97 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. The panel found significant inconsistencies in your account, particularly concerning your alleged sexual orientation and the absence of supporting evidence regarding the threats you claim to have faced. As such, your claim has been refused. You are, however, eligible to appeal this decision to the Refugee Appeal Division, (RAD). If you wish to appeal, you must file a notice of appeal within 15 calendar days, and submit your full appeal record within 30 calendar days from the date you received this decision. Failure to meet these deadlines may result in loss of appeal rights and the issuance of a removal order. Enclosed. Refugee Protection Division. Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada. The board didn't buy it. His story lacked credibility. He hadn't told his parents, hadn't faced any documented persecution. Worse still, being Nigerian made them skeptical, they'd heard it too many times. The rejection felt like a death sentence. He didn't cry. He just sat in silence, staring at the words until they blurred. He hadn't planned for failure. No one teaches you how to grieve a lie. Now, he had no choice but to file an appeal. That same evening, he was bartending a quiet shift when a man walked in and sat alone at the far end of the counter. Clean haircut. Easy smile. A little too confident. He ordered a whiskey, neat. "You're Nigerian, right?" the man asked. "Yeah." "Same here. Name's Mike. Born here, though." They talked. Mike was smooth, charming, and disarmingly observant. In 15 minutes, he'd pulled the entire story from Deolu. Then he said something unexpected. "I can help you." "How?" "Marriage. To me. It'll give you papers." Deolu blinked. Laughed awkwardly. "You're joking." "No. It's a contract. You stay. I get some benefits. You get permanent residency. Win-win." "But I'm not, you know, gay." Mike smirked. "I am. But I'm not asking you to sleep with me. Just play the game." Mike scribbled his number on a napkin and slid it across the counter. "Call me when you're desperate enough." And then he left. For 3 days, Deolu didn't call. He buried himself in school and work. Applied for other jobs. Even considered going home, until he pictured his father's disappointment and his mother's heartbreak. Girls didn't come easy. And fear of deportation kept him away from anything that might become messy. Eventually, pride broke under the weight of reality. The next evening, he picked up his phone and dialed. "What does this really entail?" he asked. "Nothing much," Mike replied. "We sign papers. Play the couple. Then go our separate ways. That's it." Deolu exhaled. The fear in his chest began to loosen. "Okay. Let's do it." Mike smiled through the phone. "Took you long enough." "I was just worried for nothing," Deolu said, almost laughing. "Yeah," Mike replied casually. "But you'll learn. Canada teaches everyone something." Deolu felt relieved. He could use this to file an appeal. But what he didn't know was this. He wasn't just agreeing to a contract. He was falling into a huge trap.